You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Hey everybody, my name's Alan Zirkle with Mr. Z's Music Lessons, and today we're going to be going over song number 6 in my series of songs for beginner guitarists. And today we'll be learning the song Hound Dog by Elvis Presley. This song is really fun. It's very repetitive, uses a 12-bar blues form, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And also there's a link to the chord chart and the original song in the description of the video, so if you want to check those out, be able to follow along on the chord chart and try playing along with the original recording. So let's learn how to play this song. For this song, we're going to use 3 chords, and the 3 chords that you'll need are C, F, and G. So yes, this song does have the dreaded F chord. That will take some practice, but over time you'll get better and better at it. So let's start with the C chord, and I'll show you how to play that. So we want our first finger on the first fret of the B string, then the second finger on the second fret of the D string, and then the third finger on the third fret of the A string. And we'll go over the strumming pattern here in a little bit, but just be aware that we'll play from the A string down on the C chord. And then let's go on to the F chord. So this F chord, you have to bar, which means you're going to play more than one string with one finger. So we're going to lay our first finger over the first fret of the B and E string. So that's the challenging part of this chord that will probably take a little bit of practice if you're not used to it. So yeah, that one lays over 2 strings, and then the second finger will be on the second fret of the G string, and then the third finger will be on the third fret of the D string. And whenever we strum this, you'll just strum from the D string down. And then the last chord, the G chord, we've done before, but I'm going to show you a little different fingering to use that will make the transitions easier. So instead of using fingers 1, 2, and 3, I would suggest using fingers 2, 3, and 4 for this chord if you can stretch far enough. So we'll start with our second finger on the second fret of the A string, then the third finger on the third fret of the E string, and then the fourth finger or pinky on the third fret of the E string. And then we'll play all the strings on this chord. Now if your hands aren't quite big enough to play that G chord that way, just go ahead and play it like normal with fingers 1, 2, and 3. I just suggest playing the G with 2, 3, and 4 because it makes the transitions a little bit easier for this specific song. So right after this, we'll jump into how to play the verse. Let's learn how to play the verses of this song. So this song uses what's called the 12-bar blues form, which basically just means that the chord progression adds up to 12 measures, and then those 12 measures just kind of repeat over and over again. So the specific chord progression for this song, we'll play C for 4 measures, F for 2 measures, back to C for 2 measures, then we'll play G for 1 measure, F for 1 measure, and then C for 2 measures again, and then that pattern repeats over and over. So we'll start with the C chord. Let me just show you the pattern here. And we're going to play from, we're going to pick the A string by itself first, and then we'll strum from the D string down. And we'll do that for 4 measures. So let me show you that. Then after that, we're going to go to F, and on the F chord, we're going to pick the D string and then strum from the G string down. And we will play that for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll go back to C for 2 measures. Then on the G chord, we're going to pick the low E string, and then strum from the A string down. And we'll do that for one measure, so it'll sound like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll go back to F for one full measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the C, the last two measures here, we'll play one full measure of C, and then on the last measure, we're only going to pick the A string, and then with this part of your hand, we'll mute the strings just kind of real quickly, like that. So let me play the last C there for you. We'll play one full measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pick the A string, and then mute the strings. So let me play the entire verse for you just with the guitar part without the singing. One measure, F for one measure, then C for one measure, and then stop. Like that. And for each one of these verses, it will be that same chord progression repeated over and over each time. Let's go over how to play the chords during the solos of this song. So during the solos, the only thing we'll do differently is we won't do that little mute there at the very end. We'll just play two full measures of C like normal. So let me play the solo for you one time, just the chords, do the solo. So we'll play 4 measures of C, 2 measures of F, back to 2 measures of C, 1 measure of G, 1 measure of F, 2 full measures of C without the pause. So that's basically all you need for this song. All the verses are the same, and then the solos play that same progression as well, just without the muting there at the end. I hope you enjoyed this video and have fun learning this song.